Hi, my name is Sankey, and today I'm going to be running through an exercise for the blues harmonica which will help show people how to take those first steps towards backing themselves and playing a bit of lead at the same time. I know this is something that I get asked a lot, so I thought I'd post a video to explain how I took the first steps and how I built my ability to be able to do that. So that's to play this kind of style of harmonica. So it's that kind of swing or shuffle rhythm. That kind of thing. So this is an exercise which will help improve your timing and learn how to establish a very simple groove, but then come away from that groove and play a phrase or one note. That's what I'm mainly going to focus on today, and then come back and keep that rhythm going. And like I said, this is something which is relevant for beginners, intermediates, and I'm going to post a follow-up video which will explain how to take this exercise towards making your own blues licks and how you can use this exercise to improve the way that you improvise. So we're using an A harmonica in the key of E, so that's cross position, and we start with a very, very simple riff, which just goes like this. That's it. Now before you say, why are you showing me that? That's so basic. Let's just see where we're going to go with this and how we're going to develop it, okay? So the idea of this simple platform is that the space at the end, there's two beats at the end where you can put in a single note or a phrase, and this will teach you how to improve your timing. So where we're going is this. So that simple platform allows you to come away for a second and play a riff. And that's the basis of how you learn how to get there. It's coming back and keeping that bounce going. So this riff starts on the first three holes of the harmonica. Get this sound. And then you, same embouchure, and you blow out. So you have 2 in breaths, 2 out breaths, 1 in breath. So even though that's very simple, there's a few things to point out. One, if you're a beginner, go slow. The slower you play it, the more time you'll have for the single note, which we're going to move on to next. Do not run before you can walk. Make sure you've got something before you move on to something more complicated. Often people don't end up with the control on the harmonica because they move on to things which are more complicated that they're not ready for. So here, keep your foot tapping, go slow, keep it in time. So that's the key marker you're looking for each time to come round. Really feel where that is and keep it consistent. In terms of producing that riff, even though it's a very, very simple riff, there's quite a few things as well to think about how you're producing that riff. The first thing to consider is you don't want to choke the harmonica, you want the reeds to sing out and do the work. So you need to think about not tensing up, the air flowing across, back and forth across the reeds in a very natural way. The next thing to think about is how you articulate the 2 breaths on either side, the in-breath and the out-breath. Now, you can use that, produce that using your tongue on the roof of your mouth, or you can use your throat. Basically practice both, one's not better than the other, just 2 different techniques. And if you're interested in playing that country style or Sonny Terry style of harmonica, all that kind of stuff is mainly using throat articulation. So it's a good one to get that control that, but without choking the reeds. Once you've got that going and you've got a groove and you've got your timing, you can also start thinking about some of the other things that I've covered, which is the tonal variation from going a thin sound to a fat sound. really muck around with the different huge tonal variations. You can go. You can play around with that and also bringing the hands in. So even with that very simple thing, as a beginner and an intermediate player, those variations of tone and your hands, etc., give you a lot of sort of improvisation. And what you're looking for is to create a sort of swagger and a push and pull. Once you've got that rhythm established, the next thing to do is to take that interval between the phrases, that period of time, to put in a phrase or a riff. So what we're going to do is just use one note so that you get a feel for what that interval is, and then I'm going to do another video of how you can then start moving and adapting and using that note and making your own blues licks. So here we're going to just take the draw 3, and what you're going to do is you're going to introduce the note at a specific point and end it at a specific note, point in time. So it's that feeling and getting the hang of where that interval is, just using one note, here the draw 3. And that is the basis for keeping that rhythm going and introducing one note. Start with a simple foundation and make it stronger. Now once you've got that one note in there, you can start experimenting with other notes. Draw 4 is a great note. You can start then thinking about expression using that one note. And very quickly you'll be improvising. So rather than me saying, oh, this is exactly how you do this lick or play that, I think it's actually more powerful to understand how you can express and make your own licks. So we're going to go into a bit more detail in the next video. But here, you can take that draw 3 and drop it down half a step to that blue note. Take that riff and then hit that note the way that you want to, the way that you hear it. You can hit it loud, you can hit it quiet, you can hit it with a cup sound, a fat sound. Two times, 3 times, etc. Play with it. It's the same with the draw 4, the draw 5. And this gets to the essence of what improvisation is all about. But what you're doing is you've got a specific period, specific time interval to get that in, to land back on the 1 for the rhythm. And that's really the basis of this exercise. And in the next video I'm going to talk about how you can take that further. But using the simple principle of that one note, locking down that time interval, thinking about your hands, thinking about the tone, thinking about all the different variations, just on that one note in relation to that simple groove is the starting point, and very quickly you'll find yourself really genuinely be able to express yourself. And I hope you found that useful, and look out for the next video. Thank you.